What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Now today, hey, we're back with some Asia Cup reviews. We're in the Super 4, the semi-finals, whatever you really want to call them, it doesn't matter. But we're here, India, Pakistan. I mean, they just put on an absolute another show. This is cricket at its very best right here. This is down to the last delivery of the game. This was great batting, some pretty solid bowling from both teams. We'll get into it, obviously, once we talk about it. And, I mean, this rivalry in cricket, it just delivers every time, doesn't it? There is always something major that happens the time these two teams play. It's always the best spectacle in cricket, really. I mean, obviously, from an Australian point of view, you know, being a neutral fan, just wanting to watch some, you know, amazing cricket, really lives up to how you'd expect it and how I would have wanted it, you know. Just a close game is what matters, and let's hope we can see these two countries play in the final. That would be awesome. So if we can see India, Pakistan again in the final, then, you know, it's 1-1 so far in the tournament. They play again in the final. It would be something special, and it would be everything on the line in the final. Which is what I think is probably what everyone want to see. As a neutral fan, that is. I'm sure a lot of Indian fans would rather play, you know, Afghanistan or Sri Lanka in a final, and I'm sure Pakistan, they would rather play them in a final as well. So both teams, they'd probably rather not play each other again in a final, but if it happens to happen, it's going to be one of the biggest, like, cricket games on the planet. It's going to be one of the most watched cricket games on the planet. It's going to be incredible, but we've got this game to go through first. So, hey, if you guys are new, subscribe, leave a comment. Comment down anything, your thoughts about the game. We're going to go into it now. Player of the match was that man, Mohammad Nawaz, 1 for 25 off 4, and just out of nowhere, really, a 42 off 20. He wasn't looking at staying around for very long. He said, look, fellas, look, I've got my bowl of cereal that's still in there. I forgot, I left the milk in the bowl. All the cereal started getting soggy, and he said, look, fellas, I've got to get out of here. I'll put some runs on the board, but I've got to go back to the change rooms and eat my cereal. And I said, look, that's fair enough. So he makes 42 off 20. Very inspirational there. A very good knock to start off Pakistan's innings there. Okay, India. Well, they were sent into bat first. And let's go through the 11 first. So, no Dinesh Karthik. I didn't understand why Dinesh Karthik wasn't a part. Yeah, I mean, look, they went with Deepak Huda, but you're batting Deepak Huda at, like, what number is this? Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like, batting Deepak Huda at number 7 is not going to work. I don't know who needs to tell them that, but Deepak Huda is a top 5 batsman. If you're going to bat him, play him in the top order. Do not play him as this number 7 finisher when you've got finishers like Hardik Pandya, Dinesh Karthik is the best finisher, like one of the best finishers in the world, and you want to sit him on the bench and play Deepak Huda at number 7 instead? Like, respectfully, Deepak Huda hit 2 4s, made 16 or 14. He couldn't have really done it much more. He played the role that he was given, but I just didn't understand that selection at all, especially when you're playing Rishabh at 5. I just think Rishabh's way too dangerous to be playing at 5 as well. And yeah, I don't know what you kind of do with this India team, because on one hand it looked so strong when they win, but now they lose. You can kind of pick some pieces out of it and say, this needs to be fixed, that needs to be fixed, and there's a few things that we need to talk about. So, KL Rahul, Rohit Sharma, they got off to a beautiful start. I mean, they were like none for 50 after about 4 overs. They were hitting everything for 6, for 4, and then just a collapse of wickets really did come. Rahul, 28 off 20. He looked really good. Went out. Rohit Sharma, the skipper, I mean, he was looking like prime, like 2015 Rohit Sharma. He was on absolute steroids. 28 off 16. And then he just caught the wrong one. Goes up, he goes out. And you start to think, all right, so we've got Virat and Sky. You've got Rishabh to follow, Hardik Pandya, Deepak Huda. You're batting extremely deep. Virat came out and just wanted to be, he just wanted to bat as many deliveries as possible, which was awesome to see, while also being very productive and putting on 60 runs for 44, 4 fours and a 6. He was the top scorer for India, and he was by far their best batsman today. And that was Virat Kohli at obviously not his best, but that was some really, really good Virat Kohli a knock. I've seen a lot of people already trolling Virat on Twitter and shit, and it's like, he just made 60 off 44. I don't know what anyone could possibly troll him for when he top scored for the team. He also had it with 16 deliveries to spare, compared to 60 to 44. What's that? Is that 16? In between, I think, something like that. He was their best batsman by a long, long way. So I don't want to see anyone, saying Virat played a test innings or any bullshit like that, because he made 60 or 44. It was the top score by a long, long way for India. And if he didn't make 60, India were probably going to get bowled out for a 120, 130. He is the reason that this game even was in the balance. So shout out to Virat. What more do people want from Virat Kohli? This is what he does. 60 or 44 is amazing. I'm taking that every day of the week from my number 3. Respectfully. Okay, now we get that out of the way. I just had to say that. Suryakumar Yadav, 13 off 10. Well, the 2 fours, you start well, but they just couldn't build a partnership after that. This middle order completely fell apart. Rishabh, he went for 14 off 12, and I just don't know with Rishabh. Rishabh in T20 cricket, I don't know. He is one of, Rishabh, everyone knows what he is capable of, what he can do, what he has done on a cricket field before in clutch situations. But in T20 cricket, I haven't seen anything that makes me go, Rishabh Pant is India's guy in T20. I still feel like Dinesh Karthik could have been a big part of this team. I feel like this is the sort of situations that Dinesh Karthik would have loved to be in. Batting first, if he was out there with, 2.5 overs to bat, around this sort of stage, anywhere in this partnership, I know it's easier said than done, but I feel like Dinesh Karthik would have made, 25 off 8 or something like that. And then, let's say you score 200 or 195, you probably win the game. It's just little things like that can make you think, should have we done this? Should have we done that? There's nothing you can change about the result now, but you can definitely think about it for next time. And if the final was played tomorrow and it was India versus Pakistan, I think you've got to get Dinesh Karthik in there. I know he's only played the one game. He made 1 off 1. He hasn't been given too much opportunity to prove himself when he played a game, made 1 off 1, and then, that's it. They just said, no, that's all we wrote. So, yeah, weird. Hardik Pandya, unfortunately, he goes for none off 2. Look, just the rest. I think maybe the rest game. Hardik, he had the heroics in game 1, then didn't play the second game, now comes back to play this game. I don't know if there was any rust. I don't know if he was tired. I don't know what happened, but didn't bowl very well, didn't bat very good. It's a day to forget for the Hardik Pandya. Deepak Huda, we spoke about him. Look, I really like Deepak Huda as a player. I think he was really good for Lucknow in the IPL this year as well. He provides some solid spin as well, some part-time, but batting Deepak Huda at number 7 is not going to work, ever. I don't know who needs to tell you that Deepak Huda, he's a great striker of the ball, but batting him at number 7 is not going to do Team India any favours. He is a top 4 guy. If he needs to play, you find a spot for him in that number 4, either in this top 4 or even the top 5 for that matter, or you just don't play him at all. What's the point of playing a top order batsman at number 7. You just didn't give him much time to really get anything going. Dinesh Karthik, I would have rather see him try to finish it off. I would have rather seen Rishabh down the order try and finish it. I would have rather seen a few others. I really like Deepak Hooda, but it's just not his role. I don't think it's his role, but you guys let me know what you think. Do you guys think Deepak Hooda could be a future finisher for the Team India? In my opinion, not right now, but if you guys have a different opinion, let me know. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, well, inspirational, nothing. And Ravi Bishnoi, 8 off 2, so he caught 2 boundaries with the last 2 deliveries. You can't ask for much more from the man Bish. Inspirational knock, and it's probably his highest score in T20 as well, so you love to see it for the man Bish. The Pakistan bowlers, well, they had to keep on top. Naseem Shah, 1 for 45 off 4. Yeah, a little bit expensive. Mohammad Hasnain, who has now come in again, 1 for 38 off 4. Harris Rauf, 1 for 38 off 4. Mohammad Nawaz, the man of the match, 1 for 25 off 4. Shadab Khan, who has been bowling absolutely terrific, 2 for 31 off 4. He is looking really good, Shadab Khan, and he hasn't been getting too much spoken about him from this Pakistan team. We hear Rizwan, you hear Rauf, you hear Naseem Shah. You hear a lot about those sort of guys. I don't feel like I've been hearing about the man Shadab Khan that much this tournament. He's bowling terrific, and you feel like as if he can, rip off a nice 55 off 30 in his next game, he's going to be right at the top of the list for almost player of the tournament. He's taking wickets. If he can just make some runs, he's probably going to go close to winning player of the tournament. Shadab Khan. He's been terrific. So, all right, Pakistan. They had 181 to chase down. They got it done with 1 ball left. You just can't ask for much better finishes than this in cricket. A rivalry like this doesn't get that much better from a neutral standpoint. All right, Pakistan, Mohammad Rizwan, he was awesome. Very, very good. 71 off 51, 6 4s and 2 6s. This is just what India need is their own Mohammad Rizwan in this game. Look, they've got two of the best openers in the world right now of Hitman and KL Rahul when they're at their best. Not right now, but when they're in their best, they've got 2 of the best openers in the world. But unfortunately, they just have not had anyone like a Mohammad Rizwan who can make a 71 or 51 this tournament. Rahul's not done much. Hitman, not much. He's made a couple of 20, 25s, 27, but that's not going to win you a game as the captain and as the opener of the team. It's just they need to start building partnerships. And they need someone at the top of the order to just make some damn runs. The fact that they relied on Virat to make 60 or 44, and then other than that, their 2 openers made 28, and then after that, it was just absolutely nothing. So I think they can take a few tips from this Pakistan team and the way they went about their batting. Mohammad Nawaz, he's not going to make 42 off 20 ever again. Respectfully, he's a nice batsman. He's a really good batsman, but I think you can feel pretty safe as an Indian fan knowing that Mohammad Nawaz should probably never do that again to your team, but you never know. Babar Azam, he went for 14 off 10. So, look, they got the skipper out early. They took some early wickets. Fakhar Zaman went for 15 off 18. But unfortunately, that partnership between Nawaz and Rizwan was costly. It was too costly in the end. Some bowling there through the middle as well, which was costly. There was a costly drop catch, which we will unfortunately get to in just a moment here. Just some how do I speak properly? Some undisciplinary bowling. I didn't say it properly, but I thought Hardik... You know what? Let's get into the bowling. I have to get into it. Look, Kushdil Shah, not out 14. Asif Ali gone for 16 off 8. Iftikhar Ahmed 2 off 1. So look, they get the win just... But if I had to sit here and say, do I think Pakistan won this game? Or did India let this game slip. I thought 181 would have been more than enough to get this win. I just thought their bowling lacked a superstar, someone who was going to take this game by the scruff of the neck. Probably missing someone like a Jasprit Bumrah, missing someone like a Bumrah, or even like Jadeja, like just another match winner with the ball. But unfortunately, not to be for India. Some expensive figures here. Bhuvi Kumar, 1 for 40 off 4. Look, I just don't think he bowled to a plan. There were some deliveries out there late, which I thought were just some of his worst bowling, like, deliveries that I've seen in years from the man Bhuvi Kumar. He bowled this one, like, half-tracker, absolute pie, like, that was straight as a bullet, but it was just a pie, and it was put for 6 by Rizwan, I think it was, and I just thought, this is not good. Like, as soon as I saw that, I thought, this is not good. 1 for 40 off 40. Look, I mean, it's not even that bad. So it just shows how India weren't even that bad and they just lost. You clean up a few things like a dropped catch, just some undisciplined, whatever the word is. You just clean up your bowling a little bit. You clean up your fielding. You do the basics properly, they probably win this game. I mean, I've said that 10 times, but they probably do. I really felt like I really feel like India lost this match more than Pakistan won it. I thought it was a big win for Pakistan, but I really do think that India, this is a massive loss. Like, 181, I still feel like should have been enough. Arshdeep Singh, look, where do we start? For the man, Arshdeep, I mean, he dropped respectfully, Arshdeep Singh, I love you. We all love you here. But that drop catch was probably the worst I've ever seen in my whole life. Okay, how do I say this nicely? It's like the ball got hit to him by a 6-year-old. It went up in the air for about 3 seconds. All you've got to do is just stick out one hand and I'm catching. Bro, I could have one finger on my fucking hand and I'm still catching that. And he dropped it with 2 hands. I could not believe the scenes. He still bowled pretty well as well, which is the upsetting part, because he bowled well towards the end as well. But unfortunately, that drop catch is probably going to be the mark of this game for him, unfortunately. But look, 1 for 27 off 3.5. I still thought he bowled well at the depth as well. It just sucks that a drop catch is going to undo his good work for the game as well. So, well. But everyone drops catches. I don't want to see any disrespect for the man Arshdeep Singh. If I see any, we're going to have a problem. If I can speak English. A problem. Hardik Pandya. Sorry. Ravi Bishnoi. How could I skip over the man Bishnoi, who obviously came in for Avesh Khan, which I did think was a good decision as well. 1 for 26 off 4. Again, I thought bowled pretty well. Was probably their best bowler by figures as well. So, well done to the man Bishnoi. Hardik Pandya. Oh, brother. Oh, man. Where do we start with this one? So, look, 1 for 44 off 4. You look at that and you think, it's not great, but it's not horrible. If I'm going to be honest, it was pretty horrible. It was just some of the worst Hardik Pandya bowling. Well, like, man, oh man, Hardik. It's like he had a rest. He had that rest game and he just, like, forgot some of his skills or something. Like, man, he gets all of the credit because of what he did in the first game, but gee whiz, he did not bowl well. And the man Chahal, 1 for 43 off 4. Unfortunately, a little bit expensive, but look, it's the man Yuzi Chahal. We love you. And he's the best spinner they have, so it's not like the man Yuzi is going anywhere. He just has to, re-watch the film, see what he can do better next time, and that's all there is really to it. I mean, the man Shadab Khan didn't even bat, just looking at it. So maybe Pakistan were going to win pretty easily, but I did still feel like India lost this game more than a Pakistan won it kind of thing. I thought it was up to their bowling, and their bowling just kind of let them down a little bit there. But hey, shit happens, all right? This is a learning curve for India. this isn't, just like, oh, we've lost, this is it, that's all. Like, oh, Pakistan, no. Like, no. The Asia Cup is still going. And for all we know, it could be India, Pakistan in the final. Where are we up to here? So, of course, the Super 4. Wait, 7th of September? When the fuck's that? Hold on, let me check my phone. In 2 days, right? So in two more days, then we have another game. India, Sri Lanka. So we get India. They get straight back into it. They get another chance to prove themselves against Sri Lanka. Has to be a win. You have to win that. They know that. Has to be a win. Pakistan, Afghanistan is going to be the most interesting game, except for the final. I mean, this game could decide everything right here. If Afghanistan win, it might be an India-Afghanistan, but if Pakistan win, Pakistan go straight to the final, essentially. And it's up to India to then beat Afghanistan the next day. And then, of course, Sri Lanka, Pakistan. I mean, look, the most likely final is India, Pakistan at the moment, but you never know. This is T20 cricket. Anything can damn happen. I mean, for all we know right now, Sri Lanka, they could beat India tomorrow. Afghanistan could beat Pakistan. Afghanistan could then beat India, and then Sri Lanka could then beat Pakistan, and then we've got a Sri Lanka Afghanistan final, and you never know. So hey, anything can happen in this game. Hey, so we'll be up to. Hey, I just lost my thought of concentration. We're gonna cap it off there. Let me know. What does India need to do in the next game? Like, what is next? Is there any changes in the 11 you guys would make? Bowling changes, batting changes? Let me know in the comments. I'm all ears. Hey, I hope we all enjoyed, and I'll see everyone in the next one.